Hi, my name is Garrett Thompson. Welcome to my podcast. This is episode 8. I am coming to you from my bedroom at home because we moved out of residence. I will be coming to you guys at least until the end of the playoffs over the summer vacation, twice a week, on Monday and Friday. Monday we'll be recapping all of the hockey, all of the news and highlights. Highlights will be obviously very, very quick because there's a lot to get through. Monday will be the highlights from the weekend, so from Friday night to Sunday night, obviously, and then Fridays will recap everything from the Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night games. So obviously Friday will have a couple more games worth of hockey, but I'll try to keep both the videos on either day 20 minutes as I have since the second video in, because my first two videos were 30 minutes of me screaming about the Toronto Maple Leafs. But ever since I kind of toned everything down, it's been a bit easier. I just hit my mic. Anyways, right into highlights. I'm going to be talking mainly about the second round, but I will be bringing up certain points from I'll be bringing up one game from the first round, and I'm going to save that till close. I'm going to start with it. San Jose and Vegas. Now, a few points. First of all, apparently the chest is the face. Now, obviously, Joe Pavelski, I hope he gets better. That was a scary play, but you can watch the play. Go to the highlights and look up Vegas-San Jose Game 7. I want you to do that after you watch this, and I want you to watch that play. It wasn't in the face. It wasn't in the face. If that was a 2-minute minor penalty, San Jose wouldn't have come back, and San Jose wouldn't be in the second round right now. There's no way. Maybe they would have come back. They would have, if they did come back and they came back, it would have been a lot. It would have been incredible, and I would have. You never know. You don't know now because it's over. But that was the most poorly called penalty I've ever seen. Also, big one. It was nowhere close. You watch that play. It was easily in the chest. I don't get that. You watch that replay so many times. I don't get how the refs thought it was in the face. There's literally a ref in the picture. There's a linesman as well in the replay. There's a linesman right there. How do you not know it was in the chest? He's right there. The reason why I'm ranting about that, I'm trying to get into a bit of a rant here, is because I'm a Fleury fan. I've always been a Fleury fan as a goalie. The minute I could pick a jersey number, the year I played, the year I could pick a jersey number, I picked 29, because I just Fleury's been one of my favorite goalies, bar none, other than Frederik Andersen, who everybody knows I adore. That's his jersey back there. But my first favorite goalie, other than Curtis Joseph, obviously Curtis Joseph, Eddie Belfour. Curtis Joseph was my first glove and blocker, but Fleury was the guy I picked a number from. This is a Fleury card, if I can get that in a photo. This is 2011 or 2012 Winter Classic, still in the plastic. I'm very proud of it. But anyways, sidetracked. Garrett's getting sidetracked. Back to the game. Back to the penalty. That was garbage. That was a garbage call. Shouldn't have happened. I'm shocked that it did. NHL released a statement. It doesn't mean anything, but they released a statement saying that the refs that were calling that game, I forget all their names, but the refs that were calling that game are done for the playoffs, because that was just a garbage play, a garbage call, and it cost Vegas the series because San Jose gained from that momentum. They scored 6 seconds into that. Now, of course, if it had been a 2-minute power play, that goal would have still obviously been on a power play, but it would have been 3-1. Jonathan Marchand said it's 3-1, so what? We come back from it. They could have easily scored again because they would have had equal chance. It's 5 minutes left. Vegas just does the dump and chase the whole rest of the game. But anyways, that costed Vegas the series, and San Jose moves on to the second round to face the Avalanche. And we're going to get into the second round. First game, which was on Thursday night. That was a certain team versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Who was the team against the Columbus Blue Jackets, you might ask? It was the Boston Bruins, who, of course, equally got there because It's okay. I have my 24 hours. Game 1. This Columbus-Boston series has been crazy so far. Matt Duchene, the Northern Ontario boy, beautiful great game, great way to end the second game. Sergei Bobrovsky's been absolutely disgusting in this first series, man. In the first series, he's been disgusting so far. In the second series, game 1, Boston won the game. Charlie Coyle buried it in overtime to win that game. I believe it was 3-2. Don't quote me on that. I think it was 3-2, or it was in that ballpark. Game 2 was 4-3 for Columbus. Sergei Bobrovsky stopped everybody. He robbed Patrice Bergeron. He robbed him blind. Columbus had played great in their games 1 and 2. I'm just going to talk about games 1 and 2 of each series. They played really, really well in game 2, especially. They played really well. John Tortorella's coaching one heck of a team this year. He's got, you know what I've noticed? One thing that I've noticed a lot about him this year is he's not as explosive as we all know he can be. He's not as explosive at all. He's calmed down a lot, and I think that's helped the team a bit, because last year he was a bit more explosive than he was this year. And you look at just how much more relaxed he is in terms of how he's approaching the media, which is a big one, because as we all know, you can look up John Tortorella in the media on YouTube, and there will be videos of him losing his mind. Of course, most of the time it's in where he's in the right, because some of those reporters are not talking to him very well, or not treating his team or his players very well at all. But he, you know what I mean? Like he's calmed down a lot more, and that's helped the team. Like if you watch, because I think in some cases, if a team has a coach who's a bit who's very, we'll say, vocally passionate, very loudly vocally passionate, he will it messes with the team a little, because maybe they're not necessarily embarrassed, but they definitely know that what teams are looking at in terms of their coach is fiery, gets fired up easily, he's fiery temper, you know what I mean? But he's calmed down a lot this season especially, and it's helped them. I think it's definitely put the Columbus Blue Jackets in the right direction. It's 1-1 going back home to Columbus for Game 3. Get the cannon out, get it ready. That arena is going to be bumping, man. That thing is going to be full and loud. It's going to be, Dubinsky's it's going to be a heck of a lot louder than Boston. That's awesome. That's great, because honestly, I think Columbus fans, I think, are going to just absolutely just throw everything they've got into their team. And it's going to be sweet to watch. It's going to be sweet to watch if they put a couple of games on Hockey Night in Canada. I definitely tune in to watch that. Another series I've been following and really interested in is Carolina and New York. Carolina, Peter Mrazek standing on his head. That's another goalie who's been just playing outstanding. Won the first game 1-0. Second game, I watched the play. I watched a couple times that he kind of tweaked his leg. He had to come out of the game. McElhinney comes in and just plays stellar. He played really, really well. I mean, he had his posts, but you know what? That's what the posts are your best friend as a goalie, man. You just give him a little tap, say thank you for putting in their part, and you're good to go. So he played really well. He played really well in relief in Game 2. Mrazek stood on his head in Game 1. Great glove save there. That was awesome. If you watch that replay, he played that perfectly. Leonard played really well too in that game. It's 1-0 in overtime. You can't blame that game on Leonard. You can't blame that game really on anybody. It's just whoever honestly scored for it. It was an awkward goal off the boards. It's hard for Leonard to rotate that quickly on that kind of play. It's a weird deflection. No one really to blame on that one. We go into the Colorado San Jose series. Game 1, San Jose. That was a bit of a stand-up game there. They really brought it to Colorado early. Game 2, though, Colorado wins it in overtime, 4-2. That was a big win for them. I'm happy for them. I want to see Colorado do well as well. Philip Grubauer has been standing on his head. Dallas and St. Louis. I'm gonna really have to like motor around because there's a lot of I'm forgetting quite a few. I almost forgot about St. Louis and Dallas. Game 1, St. Louis put their point in there. Dallas, of course, tied it up 4-2. Ben Bishop. Nope. Okay. I think I've said this a few times. Ben Bishop is a really good playoff goalie. He's a sleeper playoff goalie in a way, because you always have those goalies that people look to as playoff goalies that they're like, okay, he's strong in the playoffs. He's strong in the regular season. He's a different beast in the playoffs. There's a lot of guys that people talk about that, like Fleury, going down the list. Lundqvist, back when New York could not come in very low in the Eastern Conference. Lundqvist was ridiculous in the playoffs. Going down the list even more, Jonathan Quick, back when LA had a team. Braden Holtby. I'm obviously very happy. I was kind of shocked that Washington. People were shocked. I wanted Carolina to win that series because like you knew Washington wouldn't necessarily win the cup again, but I was shocked because like Braden Holtby's an absolute Holt beast in the playoffs, and that goal, it was a bit of a weak coverage in front, and I would not blame it on Holtby at all. And then Carey Price, of course, as well, is another really strong playoff goalie. But you look at a guy like Ben Bishop, he's made it to the final, to the Stanley Cup final. That doesn't happen without being a good goaltender. He's amazing. He's wicked. He's really good. But yeah, Dallas has him in their back end to really that. It helps when you have a goaltender with playoff confidence and just confidence in general. Like if you have a goalie who knows in his heart that he can stop the puck, that works wonders. That works wonders. Not only having a guy, there's a difference between being able to stop the puck and having a goalie who can be able to stop the puck and know he can stop the puck. That's a big difference. Because if you have a goalie that can stop the puck, great, whatever. But when it comes down to it, if the goalie knows in his heart and in his head that he can stop the puck and he knows that he's a good goaltender and he's in the NHL, that is the difference between winning and losing a game and even a series. And I think that Ben Bishop knows that he's a good goaltender and he can stop the puck. There's a lot of goalies who know it, of course. Even the guys who are out in the first round, I know there's goalies who know they can stop the puck. Their confidence, of course, is wavering because they went down early. Like, big one, you look at, like, Vasilevsky. His confidence is wavered for sure after that first round. Honestly, you look at it. Like, there's no way you can't, like, you look at it, there's no way nobody, if you really think about it, like, there's a lot of, like, you look at a lot of those guys who lost in the first round to teams who just scraped in. There's a lot of guys who are really questioning their confidence and questioning themselves in general. And, like, it's, obviously I wouldn't blame them, but anyways, I'm getting off topic. Anyways, back to the highlights. San Jose won game 1. Oh, wait, no, I already talked about San Jose. What am I talking about? Dallas and St. Louis, excuse me. St. Louis won game 1. Dallas big game 2, come back and win game 2. Heiskanen, oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my Lord, that goal was so good. Big one, he didn't get nominated for the Calder Trophy. The Calder? Yeah, Rookie of the Year. Jordan Binnington, Rasmus Dahlin, and Elias Pettersson got the nominations. Binnington, deserving. Pettersson, deserving. Dahlin, I don't know. If there's any Buffalo Sabres fans watching, and they're probably not going to like me for this, and he's like, oh, it's Dahlin, he's the number 1 pick. He's great, but I think Heiskanen should have... If he didn't win, I would hope he was close, because honestly, I didn't see Dahlin do anything Dahlin this year. I really didn't. I really did not. Honestly, I did not see any crazy big highlights from him. Heiskanen, I thought, played really, really well. He's got a lot of really good players behind him. A lot of guys, of course, that they're a bit older, of course, but they're still ridiculous. Alexander Radulov, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin. You can go on, maybe even Jason Spezza. Like, Jason Spezza's ridiculous when he wants to be, man. Jason Spezza's really good. That was a bit of a voice crack, and we're going to ignore that. I probably won't even edit that out, but, anyways. But, yeah, he's got a good team behind him, and there's a lot of pressure on him, I think, to really perform with that level of skill. And he did, and he played really, really well. You look at a team like Buffalo. Buffalo has some decent players. Their depth isn't great, but they have some decent players, and they needed Dahlin to step up, and I don't think he did as much as he should have. I really don't. I really don't think he stepped up as much as he could have. He's in the NHL. He's in the NHL for a reason. He's in the NHL to be the number one pick. He was the number one pick, and I think he could have stepped up a little bit more, and he didn't. And I think the only reason why he was nominated was because he was the number one pick, and people would have lost their minds if he wasn't nominated. Buffalo would have absolutely crapped their pants if he wasn't nominated. And he was, and now he's in the top 3. Binnington, absolutely deserving. Elias Pettersson, disgusting this year. Absolutely amazing. Very good. Very, very good. Rasmus Dahlin, I don't think should have been on the nomination, but I think it's because he was the number one pick. Honestly, it would have been Heiskanen. I think Chabot should have been up there. For sure, Chabot was disgusting this year. I went to the game against Toronto when Ottawa won 5-3. Of course, it's annoying. It's the Battle of Ontario, and Toronto lost it. But Chabot's goal, seeing it live, that was filth. That was absolutely filthy. Toronto fans, we were all looking at each other like that was disgusting. I went with my cousin to that game. I looked at him and I was like, that was filthy. That was disgusting. That was filth. And he's a defenseman. I'm not going to talk about Ottawa. Ottawa has their own issues. Believe me, he's their only real future tidbit. Brady Tkachuk, okay. Brady Tkachuk and Chabot, that's it. That's all they have. But anyways, looking forward to tonight. I'm just going to scan over here. It's April 29th. Today we have St. Louis and Dallas. It's game 3 for them. Back in the great state of Texas, we've got game 3. I'm not going to be watching that game, honestly. I'll be looking at the highlights for sure. The big one will be, I might even watch Columbus-Boston game 3. Honestly, I might do that. I'd like to see Columbus pull ahead here. I think they can, especially with how nasty their home crowd is. That home crowd will be jumping for them, as I said earlier. I think they'll be rocking and rolling for sure. But so great start to the second round. Really crappy end of the first round for San Jose and Vegas. I won't talk about how this Game 7 went because I already did, and we all know how that video went. If you want to watch that video is episode 7. You go onto the page, which will be like down there. You can click on my little DRS logo thing. That'll go to the page, and episode 7 will be there. It'll say again on it. And then you can watch me scream about Game 7 again. Jake Gardiner, great pass. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Click a like if you like it. Subscribe as well. And I will see you guys on Friday. Thank you very much.